God's Love versus Satan's Hate. The Choice Between Good and Evil. By T. Santoro. Have you ever wondered why hate pulls in more hate and love always brings back love? The energy you carry always returns to you. There is a reason for this. You are choosing between God's love or Satan's hate. When you blame people or circumstances for your life, you are choosing the way of Satan. But when you choose love, when you feel it, see it, accept it, and believe it, you are choosing the way of God. Hate pulls in more hate. Love brings back love. The energy you carry always returns to you. Choose blame and you walk with Satan. Choose love and you walk with God. And know this, dear souls, Lucifer is always at work, seeking to blind us from the truth and pull us away from God's light. Revelation chapter 12 verse 9 declares that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. Lucifer is the deceiver of the world, endlessly working to cover the truth from souls and to turn hearts away from God's love. Hear this clearly. Evil does not always come in obvious ways. It slips in quietly, hiding behind many faces. Even the writings of darkness admit that blame is poison. Here is where the difference lies. When you walk in the light and let go of blame, you do more than take back your power. You return to God's truth and love. Evil may call blame weakness, but only God can turn that weakness into freedom. Only God can change the poison of evil into the healing power of love. When you blame anything that has happened to you, you take all the responsibility off yourself and place Satan's mask of deception on. Blaming outside circumstances blinds you from your higher self, which is one of Satan's goals. We will go further into this as the talk continues. Remember this: the greatest manipulator you will ever face is yourself. As you start noticing how you align with your thoughts, you will begin to feel a sense of ease. Since every one of your thoughts carries a frequency that automatically resonates with similar frequencies, you will notice, as you go about your day, how your day lines up with your thoughts. It is interesting how people often say, "If only I had this in my life, I would be happy." Or, "If only this happened to me, I would be happy." In truth, happiness is a choice. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose not to be happy. When you allow outside circumstances to decide how you feel inside, you help Satan keep you away from your higher self. I share this with you because I understand. I know how it feels to struggle in your thoughts between good and evil. I know how heavy life can seem. But listen closely. When you awaken, you begin to see that it is not the outside that shapes the inside. It is your thoughts that send out the frequency, and that frequency shapes your reality. Everything carries a frequency. Money carries a frequency. Love carries a frequency. Hate carries a frequency. The joy of a beautiful relationship has its own frequency, and so does the bitterness of revenge. Heraclitus once said, "All things flow. Life itself vibrates with energy, and your thoughts are no different. What you choose to think is what you choose to become." We often become our own worst enemy when we turn against ourselves. We blame circumstances. We blame other people as the source of our suffering. Yet this self-blame that seeps into the soul is one of the most dangerous gifts Satan offers to humanity. Know this: every gift of evil is still a choice. You can accept it, or you can refuse it. Take responsibility for your thoughts. Do not blame circumstances. Do not hand your power to anything outside of you. Welcome to Awaken Light Energy, a place where spiritual storytelling and Bible-inspired reflections join with the wisdom of philosophy, stoicism, and spirituality. Each story becomes a way for us to reflect together. What I share with you today is from my heart to your heart. I want to speak to you as if you are sitting right here with me. Today we are diving into the power of love and hate, good and evil, choice and blame, the energies that shape our lives. The key to remember is this: we create what we attract, whether it is good or evil, love or hate, freedom or bondage. It all begins with our thoughts. As Proverbs chapter 23 verse 7 says, "As a person thinks in the heart, so that person becomes." This is why we must be mindful of our thoughts. The truth is simple. Love attracts love, and hate attracts hate. Let's begin this journey together, as I share with you from my soul to your soul. Many years ago, when I was a child, I had what I called nightmares. Now I understand them as visions. Maybe you have had dreams like this too. Ones so real they stayed with you long after you woke up. One dream still stands out in my memory. I was sitting in a peaceful garden when a figure appeared. Fear rose inside me. I tried to run, but before I could move or wake up, I saw what looked to me like Satan. I could not escape or wake up. In that moment, I thought I was dying. I did not know then that these visions were not sent to condemn me, but to teach me. They were lessons, not a sentence to hell. In the years that followed, those dreams returned again and again. The details changed, but the message stayed the same. It was always about good and evil. Looking back now, I see they were not sent to frighten me, but to guide me. The more I studied them, the more I saw the truth. Someone wanted me to understand the power of God and the power of Satan and what they represent in our lives, good and evil. Picture this for a moment. You rise in the middle of the night and the floor is cold beneath your feet. Then it happens. You stub your toe. Pain shoots through you. You might curse, blame the furniture, or blame the child who left a toy on the floor. The moment is painful, yet it reveals something larger. That instant of blame keeps you from looking within. The writings of darkness warn that blame is poison. Darkness ends at self-responsibility. But in the light, when you look within, you move beyond blame and align with the lesson. In that moment, you reclaim your power not only for yourself, but for the higher calling of your soul. As John chapter 8, verse 32 says, "You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." That freedom is exactly what dark energy tries to hide. Evil wants you to believe your circumstances are not under your control. Let that thought settle as we move further into this powerful force of good versus evil. The Satanic Bible teaches against passivity. It says, "If a man smites you on one cheek, smash him on the other, smite him hip and thigh. For self-preservation is the highest law." In God's truth, preservation is not the highest law. Love is. Love breaks chains and sets the soul free. Darkness ends with self-preservation. Light calls you higher. God calls you to awaken and see that your thoughts carry power. When your thoughts align with love, light, and stillness, you rise above survival. You step into freedom, peace, and abundance. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 reminds us, "We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world." The moment you see that sudden fear, conflict, or discouragement are not random, but are spiritual signs, you begin to take back your power. Satan thrives in secrecy, yet once unmasked, the hiding places of evil are revealed. Awareness itself is victory. God, who is love and light, calls you to ask deeper questions and listen for truth. Each time you look within, your awareness grows. Love is light. 1 John chapter 1 verse 5 tells us, "God is light, and in God there is no darkness at all." Reflection is the path to wisdom. Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Remember this. Every decision you make is a line drawn in the sand between good and evil. Each choice is an act of free will, one of God's greatest gifts. Napoleon Hill wrote, "You are the master of your destiny." You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. Good and evil cannot live in the same thought. You are either choosing one or the other. Think of the times you get angry at the furniture or scold a child for a toy on the floor. In those moments, you may cross the line without noticing. This is another gift from Lucifer. the quiet invitation to let evil slip in. Evil is not always destruction. More often it comes quietly, like a sweet poison that feels easy to accept. Anton LaVey wrote in the Satanic Bible, "Man has always blamed higher powers for his earthly failures, instead of realizing that he himself is responsible. In darkness, blame is seen as poison. In God's light, releasing blame does more than reclaim power. It brings you back to truth, love, and freedom." Paul reminds us in Galatians chapter 5, verse 1, "Stand strong, and do not let anything control you or hold you back." Now picture this. Imagine a genie that grants every thought you hold. How carefully would you choose your thoughts? Hold this picture close because it reflects a truth. Your mind is not passive. What you hold within, you create without. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 7 says, "As a person thinks in the heart, so that person becomes." This is not about the crimes of others. It is about the thoughts within your own heart. The way you speak to yourself is the way you act toward others. Tony Robbins teaches, "The words you attach to your experience become your experience." Your thoughts carry vibration. They call in energy that matches their frequency. Good will always draw good. Evil will always draw evil. The choice is yours. Let us pause for a reset. Sit comfortably. Soften your shoulders and relax your jaw. Breathe in slowly through your nose. Breathe out even slower through your mouth. Once more, breathe in and breathe out. Place one hand on your chest and one on your belly. Feel both rise as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Whisper to yourself, "Today I choose love, peace, harmony, and joy." Feel this energy expand within you and reach into the universe, returning to you with greater power. Now picture a moment in your life unfolding exactly as you choose to feel. Your thoughts play on a movie screen, and you are the projector. See your thoughts grow like seeds in a garden, creating the life you live. When you release hate, revenge, and blame, you make space for love, peace, harmony, and joy. I know some of you may be thinking, "I'm a good person. I do not think evil," yet you may still feel anger, frustration, or bitterness. The truth is, it all comes down to our inner dialogue. What we allow in, what we listen to, and what we think shapes our reality. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19 says, "I set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Now choose life." Blame is not harmless. It is poison. Each time you blame, you hand away your power. Love, on the other hand, flows outward and multiplies. Hate grows too, often from rejection or disrespect. Epictetus taught, "It is not things themselves that disturb us, but the judgments we make about them." So I ask you, what are you choosing today, love or hate? Where is your energy flowing? Into good or into evil? Look within. Think about the people around you, the places you enter, and the private thoughts only you hear. Are you planting love that heals or feeding resentment that multiplies? Even if you feel blame is justified, it still poisons your spirit. Your higher self does not respond to excuses. It responds only to what you project. Just like a genie granting wishes, your thoughts are my command. Abraham Hicks teaches, "You attract what you think about, whether you want it or not." Love and hate cannot exist in the same thought. Love leads to kindness, compassion, and unity. Hate leads to division and harm. Watch how your thoughts shape your life. If someone cuts you off in traffic and you get angry, that anger is energy. This energy attracts more of the same, and in this case, it brings more anger. This is the poison of blame. It may feel justified, but it clouds the spirit. Choose love. Love creates kindness. Kindness creates unity. Unity opens the way for peace. As Delilah said on her radio show, love is what we were born with. Fear is what we learn. Choose to return to love. Hate is a powerful force of energy, but it cannot create beauty, healing, or prosperity. blame, anger, and negative energies may help you survive, but only love allows you to live fully. Fellow souls, today I invite you to choose love. Choose it in your thoughts, your words, and your actions. When you change your thoughts, you change your life. When you change your life, you change your reality. Let us walk this path of love together, side by side. Subscribe to Awaken Light Energy if you feel called to this journey. Thank you for being here, for trusting me, and for trusting yourself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Ask yourself now, what color are your thoughts painting your soul today? Join me in our next story as we continue this journey together. Until then, choose your thoughts wisely. Peace. See you in the stillness. If this story spoke to you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and remember to click the bell so you always hear a new story. And if you know someone who could use this message, share it with them. Because sometimes, a simple story is all it takes to spark something real.